Dentist Gloria Polo from Colombia experienced clinical death. And what she saw there, beyond the lifeline, shocked her. Messengers of hell came for her, and this fact scared her to such an extent that this woman, who returned from the afterlife, would never want to get to these sinister entities again. Many people believe that life after death is just a good plot for screenwriters. Those who think so are sure that after death there will be nothing more for them. I hope that the story that happened to me on May 5, 1995, will help some people change their minds. On that day, I experienced clinical death and saw what the afterlife of a person who hates everyone and everything looks like, Gloria recalls. According to her, she would not have been able to come back to life and tell what happened to her if it were not for her sister, who is also a doctor. It was she who insisted that Gloria not be disconnected from the devices. The other doctors were convinced that this woman could not be saved. On Friday, May 5, 1995, Gloria Polo and her nephew, who was also a dentist, were going to visit the library of the National University of Colombia. They were also accompanied by Gloria's husband. On the way, the companions were caught in a heavy rain. Gloria opened an umbrella and walked under it with her nephew. Her husband took shelter from the rain by walking near the wall of the university library. At that moment, my nephew and I were walking through an alley in which old trees grew. There was a large puddle in front of us. When we tried to go around this obstacle, lightning struck us. My nephew's life ended at that very moment, says Gloria Polo. Gloria herself was in a state of clinical death. She recalled that at that moment she was surrounded by a beautiful light, which was as bright as the sun. Once inside this light, Gloria realized that she had died. Flying in this light, she met her deceased relatives, parents, grandparents. Especially amazing for Gloria Polo was the meeting with her great-grandmother. The fact is that Gloria believed in the transmigration of souls. One day she met a man who claimed that he could contact the other world. This man told Gloria that her great-grandmother had reincarnated, and they were destined to meet in earthly life soon. I blindly believed in the reincarnation of souls. Every time I met new people, I tried to recognize my reincarnated great-grandmother in each of them. And now, being in this white light, I realized that I was mistaken. Together with other deceased relatives, my great-grandmother came to meet me. Among them, I saw my nephew, who was struck by lightning along with me. He entered a beautiful garden. There were trees growing in it, the branches of which intertwined, forming a gate. I wanted to follow my nephew, but some force held me back, Gloria Polo recalls. At that moment, Gloria heard her husband's voice. He begged his wife not to give up, because her children needed her. The garden with dead relatives disappeared, and Gloria found herself next to her body, which was surrounded by doctors on all sides. Soon Gloria felt that her body was pulling her into itself. She had the feeling that she was trying to put on children's clothes made of wire. This caused Gloria great physical pain. She heard one of the doctors announce with relief, she came to her senses. For some time, Gloria Polo anxiously watched what was happening in the operating room. She wondered if she would be able to restore the beauty of her legs, which suffered the most. Soon Gloria noticed that there were several more people standing next to her. At first she thought they were doctors. But when she looked closely at their faces, she forgot everything that had worried her before out of fear. The faces of these creatures were terrible, and their eyes glowed with hatred. Looking at them, I realized that these creatures had come for me. They surrounded me from all sides. I was very scared. I tried to get into my body, but it wouldn't let me. My only salvation was to hide in the hospital corridor. But when I ran out into the corridor, I saw that I was in some kind of tunnel, says Gloria Polo. Gloria went down the tunnel. At first it was quite light here. But the lower Gloria went, the less light there was. Finally, she felt a flat surface under her feet. It was dark around, but Gloria could see a large hole from which an inhuman emptiness was blowing. Looking into this hole, Gloria understood that if she fell down, her soul would be lost. As she stood at this abyss, the book of her life unfolded before her. Looking into it, Gloria realized that she had never loved anyone and was a hypocritical person. For example, when she saw a new dress on her colleague, she would smile and say how it suited her. And at that very moment, Gloria thought to herself, "How awful you look in this dress, considering yourself a queen in it." When I saw other people's grief, I said that I sympathized with people. In fact, there was not a drop of compassion in me. Looking through the book of my life, I watched as my soul gradually died inside me, and how anger towards people grew. Soon the book of my life was closed, and I felt indescribable sadness. It seemed to me that in the darkness I saw the eyes of my dead mother. Tears were streaming down my face, I was ashamed, and I understood that I would never see my mother again, says Gloria Polo. Looking into her mother's eyes, Gloria began to slowly descend into the darkness. She felt that this darkness was full of suffering and horror. She saw different creatures here that frightened her with their appearance. The darkness burned Gloria. It seemed to her that she was losing her mind from fear. Gloria said that while going down, she realized that the devil really exists. Gloria Polo recalls that, hanging over the abyss, she began to scream, asking God to forgive her and bring her back. Gloria screamed that she was here by mistake because she was a Catholic and had been to church many times. But she immediately had to shut up. Gloria realized that she had put her faith in the stars above her own faith. She believed that Mercury influenced her life more than anyone else. When she thought about it, Gloria realized that she had no right to ask for anything. Despite this, some force pulled her out of the pit. Someone's voice told Gloria that she would have a second chance. This voice told me that I would be saved not by the prayers of my relatives, but by the prayers of people I did not even know. The incident that happened to me was written about in the newspapers. People prayed for me. When I learned about it, I saw many small lights in the darkness. These were the hearts of people who sincerely wanted me to recover. I saw a poor peasant who, praying for me, said, "Lord, if you save this woman, I will go on a pilgrimage." I was touched by the fact that a person who had to starve was asking for the salvation of someone he did not even know. After that, I was returned to my body. The doctors who fought for me for several days said that my return to life was impossible. This is how Gloria Polo ended her story. Of course, one can be skeptical about her story, claiming that all this is hallucinations, but you must agree, no one alive today can say with complete certainty what and who will meet us in the afterlife. And there is much more evidence of this than assertions that there is nothing beyond the lifeline. Science has not yet proven the absence of the afterlife. What do you think about this? Write about it in your comments. See you on our channel.